So stage 3 is a pretty weird stretch, and what I mean is the first two parts have bosses that are completely neutered by their weaknesses, and the last two are long stretches. So let's start with 3.1. So for this one, you're going to go with the shotgun ice, and Spark Mandrill is pretty notoriously frozen by the shotgun ice. What you're going to run into is you hit him, you wait until he breaks out, and then you hit him again. If you don't have a direct shot, you use the weird recoil angle and try to angle a shot to hit him. But otherwise, just take him out like this. There's really not much to it. You may take some damage sometimes, but as you can tell, you're definitely going to win the damage race. As long as you don't miss him too many times in a row. There's not much to deal with Bubble Crab, and unlike 1-2, when you're in a section that doesn't involve a lot of oil, it's a lot easier to tell what's going on with Bubble Crab. Now, once Spark Mandrill is taken out, all you have to do with Bubble Crab is stay away, hit him with the charge shot. Tip number 4, just make the best use of that charge shot. To recap a little bit of that, tip number 1 was focus on Spark Mandrill first. Tip number 5, use the shotgun ice. And tip number 4, use your charge shot. There's not a lot with this battle. You can go more aggressive if you want by going over him and letting him jump so that he drops his shield so you can hit him more easily. But if you're going for the safer route and you're going to have trouble with 3-3, which is possible, then really just give him some distance, hit him with the charge shots. When he gets too close, go over him, repeat. He doesn't go that far that fast. There's not a lot of threat. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to talk about some of the other sections. 3-2, you're going to run into a little bit of the same, where one of the bosses gets completely taken out by their weakness, although not to as big of an extent. And with the other battles, 3-3 for both Legacy 1 and 2, we're going to run into a case where it's going to be a longer battle just because of the way the opponents are. You have a lot of the fortress or end game opponents that you're dealing with. But as you can see here, this is definitely a warm-up. Get used to moving around, taking advantage of your buster shot, and there's not a lot to deal with on this one. I will take one more moment to say, if you do like what's going on here or have any questions, comment. I'll answer the questions. I do keep track of the comments. And we'll take you to 3-2. (3-2) may seem a little familiar. So with Cyber Peacock and Tunnel Rhino, who are we going to take on first? We are going to take on Cyber Peacock. And the reason is the soul body extends out a little bit from X, stays out for a little bit at a certain distance and comes back in, but it pretty much interrupts whatever Cyber Peacock is doing. Meanwhile, Tunnel Rhino literally goes from one end of the stage to the other, with taking a couple of breaks to shoot some drills at you. But for the most part, he's just going to go from one spot to the other. So jump over him and deal with Cyber Peacock, who's either going to try to teleport on top of you, or sometimes he'll end up on the side for his stage 2. But it all gets interrupted by the soul body. It's all pretty straightforward. Don't worry about taking too many hits. Don't try to take hits, but as you can tell, I'm using the same life bar as from the first fight, because this one is another straightforward fight. Once he's done, when it comes to Tunnel Rhino, go from one side of the screen to the other, and hit him with the charge shot. Sometimes he will interrupt it by either stopping in the middle and shooting some drills in multiple directions, or he may shoot 3 larger drills before he charges you, or he may stop in the middle, and if he stops in the middle, he will almost certainly go back the direction he came because he's trying to bait you. There is one more pattern where he turns into this multi-rainbow color and charges at the wall at full speed. You could get tricked by the speed of that one, but otherwise it's fairly straightforward. Again, take advantage of the charge shot. Know that your charge shot will not go through 3 drills, but the plasma that's left over could hit him if he runs through it. It's pretty similar to 3-1. Take out the first boss really quickly with the weakness, then stay as far away as possible while you are knocking him out with the charge shot. So I guarantee you the other ones are going to be a little more difficult. All right, first things first, the names. Dr. Doppler, GodKarmachine, or Inary. I am not going to say that name very much. I'll say Doppler or Inary, but you're going to use the Ray Splasher, and you're going to use that whether you're fighting Legacy Collection 1 or 2. But it is the weakness of Inary, and you're going to ignore Doppler when it comes to attacking him because he can heal himself. Doppler's got a pattern that I'll get into in a little bit, but let's talk about Inary for a bit. He has 2 primary attacks. The first one is he will bring out his sword and fire it at you. You can duck under those, or you can jump dash past it, or he'll try to grab you with one arm and then punch you with the other. And what you do is you dash over that to avoid the first one, and then just avoid the straight punch that's coming. So if you can avoid those, that's half the battle as far as taking out Inary. It's not consistent dodging that grapple, but you practice it enough and you'll get used to it. Now, Doppler. Doppler's pattern. Doppler will start a fire dash. He'll raise to the level that X is at, to the vertical level that X is at, charge at him, and then he'll wait for you to attack. If you don't attack, he won't do anything until he starts firing 3 orange beams or 3 orange balls at you. If you do attack, he starts this green shield. If any of your attacks hit that shield, it will heal him. So he waits for the green shield, then he fires 3 orange balls at you, and then he waits again for the green shield, and then he does the fire charge. Lather, rinse, repeat. It is your choice whether you want to be as aggressive as you can. Just know that if you hit him with the charge shot, it is going to heal him extremely fast. So we're going to take some time here, but really, this is the best way to not make it a war of attrition. The way I still get away with using the charge shot is I go ahead and hit him with the charge shot when he's in the air, because he can't use that shield while he's in the air. It may make him activate that shield, but as long as it doesn't touch the shield while he's in the midst of it, then you're doing okay. It's a very straightforward pattern. And, I mean, it takes a lot of time. It's kind of frustrating that it takes so much time, but it's not too difficult. To be honest, if you're doing Legacy Collection 1, I would consider this easier than Stage 2. Just know the cues and be able to get through that first section, because there is a little bit of a damage race going on, as you saw there with Inary and Doppler together. With all this waiting, I decided to have a little fun, just dancing a little bit around, waiting for him to fire. Which, by the way, you can hit him when he's using the best chances to hit him are when he's firing those 3 orange shots at you with normal buster shots, not charged. And you can hit him when he goes into his fire dash. You can hit him with whatever you want as long as it's in the air. And the reason I say that is so that the residual from the charge shot doesn't actually heal him. It's weird, it's been a long time since I've played X3, so I don't remember if this battle was this straightforward or not, or it took this long. I think part of the difference is the fact that, like we mentioned earlier with tip number 2, you have a lot more health than normal, and he has a lot more health than normal, so this makes everything take a whole lot longer. We've almost got him though. He's gonna use his shield. Actually, the more I think about it, if you want to speed this up as fast as possible, then your best chance is likely to activate his shield in a way that doesn't hit him. So, the next one is a little more exciting and will take a little less time. When I stumbled across 3-3 for Legacy Collection 2, I had 2 thoughts. The first was, oh wow, I love these villains. They're actually really cool. This is going to be fun. And the second immediate thought I had afterwards was, this is going to suck. I hate fighting both of these bosses because they're such pains in the neck. Well, both are true, and there's a lot to deal with. Again, we're going to use the Ray Splasher because it is the weakness for Vile, and it can still affect High Max. Those that don't remember, High Max can only truly be affected in combination with the Maverick weapons. But you're just going to go after, tip number 1, you're going to go after Vile first. You're going to have a little bit of a damage race, so take advantage of tip number 2, the fact that you have more health than normal. You're not going to make the use of your charge shots too much, but as you see, I tried to get Vile out as soon as possible. And the reason I went for Vile was not only because he keeps damaging you a lot, but there's a second reason, which is you can get High Max in a little bit of a pattern. If you can hit him with the charge shot, you can use a Maverick weapon, almost any Maverick weapon, to do actual damage afterwards. So you hit him with the charge shot, make sure you dodge certain attacks, and then once he's frozen, and you can tell because he's flashing a little bit, just hit him with the Maverick weapon, he'll fall down, and the cycle starts again. Now, before you realize that, he seems impossible. And there was a long period of time when I was first playing X6, before I really grasped what was going on, when I thought he was either impossible or incredibly cheap. Especially when you stumbled onto him early in the process before you gained a lot of mastery of some of the Maverick weapons. But fortunately, it's find one edge of the screen. He may tip you off as to which side he's going to come at, because you may see his foot on the top corner right before he comes down. Either way, use the charge shot. It's capable of going through his shield. Use whatever weapon you've got. I can use the Ray Splasher. I'm going to switch here into the Shotgun Ice and show you that there's more than one way to do this. Actually, with the Shotgun Ice, you can angle it from behind him if you can't get past that shield. I'll show you on the next go. There you go. Whatever weapon you have, just make good use of it, and we will see you next time. Stage 4, it's going to be fun. Join us for that.